What if the most powerful healing plants in human history, plants used by ancient healers, indigenous tribes, and traditional medicine systems for thousands of years, were the exact same plants the U.S. government has made illegal or nearly illegal to grow in your own backyard? Some of these plants treated pain, fatigue, and spiritual ailments long before modern pharmacies existed. Today we're counting down 13 of them, and I'll tell you exactly why each one crossed the line from medicine to controlled substance. Let's start the countdown. Quick disclaimer before we start, this video is for historical and educational purposes only. Several plants on this list contain Schedule I controlled substances under U.S. federal law. Growing, possessing, or using them can carry serious federal and state criminal penalties. Nothing here is medical advice, legal advice, or an endorsement of using any of these substances. Always check current federal and state law before growing anything discussed in this video. Number 13. Khat, Cathay edulis. For centuries, communities in East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula chewed khat leaves for their mild stimulant effect, believing it eased fatigue and boosted focus. But khat contains cathinone, a chemical compound the DEA classifies as a Schedule I controlled substance. That means under federal law, growing or possessing khat in the United States is illegal, full stop. Number 12. Iboga, Tabernantha boga. In parts of West Africa, iboga root bark has been used in Bwiti spiritual and healing ceremonies for generations. Its active compound, ibogaine, has even drawn research interest for treating addiction. But ibogaine is a federal Schedule I substance in the U.S., and a growing number of states have specifically banned the iboga plant and its alkaloids. Translation: this ceremonial healing plant is legally radioactive here. Number 11. Salvia divinorum. This member of the mint family was used by the Mazatec people of Mexico in traditional spiritual healing rituals. It's legal at the federal level, but here's the catch. A long list of individual states, including Delaware and Louisiana, have banned its sale, possession, or cultivation outright. So whether you can legally grow Salvia divinorum literally depends on your zip code. Number 10. Jimsonweed/datura. Datura grows wild across much of the U.S. and was historically used by some Native American groups in extremely controlled ceremonial doses. But every part of this plant is highly toxic, and even small miscalculations in dose have caused hospitalizations and deaths. Because of that danger, many states and municipalities restrict or actively discourage its cultivation, and some classify it as a noxious or regulated weed. Number 9. San Pedro cactus, Trichocereus pa hanoi. Andean healers in Peru and Ecuador have used San Pedro cactus in traditional medicine ceremonies for thousands of years. Here's the nuance that most videos get wrong. The cactus itself is actually legal to grow ornamentally in most of the U.S. What's illegal is extracting or consuming the mescaline inside it, which is a federal Schedule I substance. Grow it as a garden plant legal. Use it for its traditional purpose, federal crime. Number 8. Ephedra/Ma Huang, Ephedra sinica. Ma Huang has been a staple of traditional Chinese medicine for over 2,000 years, used for respiratory issues. In 2004, the FDA banned ephedra-containing dietary supplements nationwide after they were linked to heart attacks and strokes. Important distinction: growing the ephedra plant itself is not illegal in most states. It's the sale of ephedra as a supplement that's banned. Another case where the plant and the product have very different legal fates. Number 7. Kratom, Mitragyna speciosa. In Southeast Asia, kratom leaves have been chewed for generations as a traditional remedy for pain and fatigue. Federally, kratom is currently legal to grow, buy, and possess in the U.S. But several states, including Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Wisconsin, have banned outright, while other states and cities regulate its sale. It's one of the clearest examples of a patchwork legal map in this entire list. Number 6. Psilocybin mushrooms. Quick correction here. These aren't technically a plant, they're a fungus, but they come up in this conversation constantly, so let's set the record straight. Indigenous cultures in Mesoamerica used psilocybin mushrooms in religious ceremonies for centuries. Under federal law, psilocybin is a Schedule I controlled substance, meaning cultivating these mushrooms is a federal crime. Interesting twist. The spores themselves contain no psilocybin, so spores are legal to possess in most states. It's the moment they germinate and produce mushrooms that the law considers you to be manufacturing a controlled substance. A small number of cities and states have decriminalized possession, but decriminalization is not the same as legalization. Number 5. Ayahuasca plants, Banisteriopsis caapi, and Psychotria viridis. Ayahuasca has been used by indigenous Amazonian healers for generations in spiritual and medicinal ceremonies. The brew contains DMT, a federal Schedule I substance. Here's a genuinely fascinating legal wrinkle. In the 2006 Supreme Court case Gonzalez versus O Centro Espírita Beneficente União do Vegetal, the court ruled that a specific religious organization could use ayahuasca under federal religious freedom protections. So for the general public, growing or using these plants is federally illegal, but for a narrow set of recognized religious practitioners, there's a legal exception. Number 4. Coca plant, Erythroxylum coca. In the Andes, coca leaves have been chewed for thousands of years to combat altitude sickness and fatigue, and they remain culturally significant in Peru and Bolivia today. In the United States, growing, importing, or possessing the coca plant is prohibited under federal law because it's the natural source of cocaine. Number 3. Opium poppy, Papaver somniferae. The opium poppy has been used medicinally for pain relief since ancient Mesopotamia and remains the source of morphine and codeine used in hospitals worldwide today. Here's the nuance. Ornamental poppy varieties and poppy seeds for baking are legal and common in the U.S. But cultivating Papaver somniferum with the intent to produce opium is a federal crime enforced by the DEA because the plant is a direct source of a controlled narcotic. Number 2. Peyote, Lophophora williamsii. This small cactus, native to Texas and northern Mexico, has been used in Native American religious and healing ceremonies for over 5,000 years. Peyote is a federal Schedule I substance, and growing or possessing it is illegal for the general public. There is one major exception. Enrolled members of federally recognized tribes practicing through the Native American Church have a specific legal protection to use peyote for religious purposes. Outside of that narrow exception, cultivating peyote is prohibited nationwide. Number 1. Cannabis, marijuana. And at number 1, the plant most Americans already know about. Cannabis has a documented history of medicinal use stretching back thousands of years, across cultures from ancient China to India to the Middle East. Today, its legal status in the U.S. is genuinely split. A growing number of states allow medical or recreational cultivation and use, while federal law still classifies cannabis as a Schedule I controlled substance. That means even in states where it's fully legal, growing cannabis remains a federal crime on paper, one of the strangest legal contradictions in American plant law. So there you have it, 13 plants with genuine healing traditions behind them, and 13 very different reasons the law caught up with them. Some are banned nationwide, some depend entirely on your state, and some are legal to grow but illegal to use the way history intended. If this surprised you, let me know in the comments which one you didn't expect, and subscribe for more videos breaking down the real story behind the plants you thought you knew.